What's up, guys? I'm BTC. There was a gigantic patch today, and along with everything in the Retribution event, there was also a lot of buffs and nerfs. First thing you probably noticed was the patch was unusually large, and this was confirmed by Blizzard to be on purpose. It had to be this big because they needed to repackage, reconfigure the way the patch is handled. That's why it took so much longer to download. But the good news is, all future patches can be a lot smaller and should be able to download a lot faster because of this change. Alright, so let's go into the buffs and the nerfs. So the first one is going to be for Brigitta. This isn't really a buff so much as it is a quality of life change. We're going to go into options real fast and change it to Brigitta. You'll notice she now has something called Toggle Barrier, and what this does when you turn it on is now you can just click it once and it will keep the barrier up. Then you click it again and it takes the barrier down. So this is exactly what Reinhardt has for his. I'm just going to delete that override. But unfortunately, we still don't have a sensitivity slider for her healing pack. Hopefully they add that pretty soon. So the next character we're going to look at is Deva, and she got a bunch of nerfs. So for the micro missiles, explosive damage reduced from 6 to 4, and for the boosters, impact damage reduced from 25 to 10. So for every single little micro missile that gets fired out, it will now do less explosive damage. So it went from 6 to 4. So that is a pretty substantial decrease in the damage. However, Deva is still going to be incredibly powerful. She's still going to be able to boost in and attack and burst down enemy supports fairly easy. So as soon as my cooldowns are off, let's see here. So you can still dive in and boost down people really easy. So it is a nerf, but it's not like huge. Also, the booster impact damage was reduced from 25 to 10. So that is a pretty significant reduction. So it looks like they're more trying to get boosters to being just something that allows you to move from one spot to another really quickly, as opposed to actually being a reliable source of damage. Next up is Mccree, and these are some incredibly important buffs. It says, Mccree added additional voice lines for the lifeguard skin.
No running.
Super, super important.
It's high tide.
It's high tide.
Draw. Like shooting fish in a barrel.
Next one is Mei. This is a buff. The endothermic blaster now pierces through enemies. So this means you can freeze multiple targets at once. This is supposed to help be kind of like an anti-tank meta thing. So what used to happen before is you could only freeze one of them at a time. But now you can freeze multiple targets at once. The problem with this being effective against multiple tanks is that multi-tank lineups tend to almost always have a Reinhardt or an Orisa. And the barrier will just completely shut this down and make it almost completely worthless. So, I mean, it's nice. It's definitely a buff, don't get me wrong. But I don't think it's going to be nearly as effective as they think it is. Next up is Reaper, and he got some pretty nice buffs. The first one, Death Blossom reloads Hellfire shotguns after use. Just a nice little kind of auto reload, should help increase your DPS. And then the big one, though, is Wraith Form. Move speed increased from 25% to 50%, and then you can now cancel the ability by pressing the shift or primary fire key. That is huge. First of all, as someone who plays a lot of Moira, whenever I had to go back and play Reaper, using his incredibly slow Wraith Form was like agonizing. But now it's faster, so it's a lot better. But the big thing is the ability to cancel it and get that free reload. So what a lot of people don't understand is reloading in the middle of the fight. Having that instant reload is incredibly powerful. In fact, a lot of high-level Mccree players, you've probably seen this in the Overwatch League a couple times at least, they will get their ultimate on Mccree, they activate it, and then instantly cancel it. Because they don't care about Mccree's ult, because, to be honest, it's not very good. That's a topic for a whole nother video. But they will basically just activate it, instantly cancel it, so they get those instant reloads. Like, that is what it's used for. And now Reaper can do the same thing, but he can use it with a regular ability. That is so unbelievably powerful. So, again, let me show you the speed of this. That is so much faster. That is crazy, crazy fast. That is super, super fast. And then, of course, you do get the instant reload whenever you use your ultimate. But, like, look at this. Let me show you again once these guys respawn. So you just, you know, you fire off all your stuff, and then rather than waiting for the reload, you just Wraith, and then you can do it again. Like, that is crazy, crazy strong. Next up is Moira. This is actually a buff to everyone, because all of the stuff that Moira has on screen is just now a little bit more transparent, and it's easier to see through. Like, that's pretty much it. Like, that's all that is. It's just now you don't have tons of Moira special effect stuff on the screen. Last character is Zenyatta. He got a nerf, but this is very minor. So, Orb of Destruction, this is his right click when you hold it. The secondary fire rate was reduced by 15%. So, what this means is when you hold down your right click, and then when you let go, those little orbs are going to go out slower, 15% slower than they did before. Let me show you again. It's really not that big of a deal. So, Zenyatta's strength comes from the Discord, and also from his ultimate ability. So, the right click, yeah, it's a bit of a nerf, but it's not really going to do a lot. So there you have it, guys. Those are all the buffs and nerfs for this patch. What do you think about them? Let me know down in the comments. Thanks for watching. Make sure to check out my Discord server. Follow me on Twitch and Twitter. The links for that stuff are down below. And remember, always, always blame the controller, because it's never your fault. Also, special thanks to all my Patreon supporters for helping to make this all possible. If you'd like to see what kind of cool rewards you can get for supporting the channel, check the links on screen and down below.